I saw that the DOJ is investigating the NFL for, they used a lot of different words, but for basically screwing fans over and charging them. I think they say it costs between 1,000 and 1,500, give or take, to watch all the games in the NFL. Where 25 years ago, it would cost a couple $100 just to have the NFL ticket. Because I had it. I think it was like $250 in like '06, '07, something like that. Something like that. But you had to have DirecTV at the time. And I understand the DOJ getting involved here because it deals with the American public. I always thought it was stupid that Congress made a big spectacle of Major League Baseball and steroids and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just a waste of taxpayer money. Who cares? Only Major League Baseball should care if they're using steroids, because it's not like... Now, are you catching them in the act of buying something illegal and then throwing them in jail? No. Did you use... Like, that's all they're doing. Or that's all they did with Congress, and it was just so annoying. Like, oh, thanks for wasting everyone's time, money, effort, energy. But I feel like the DOJ, this is a slippery slope, because how many companies in the United States are actively screwing over the American public? Out of the big ones, all of them? I mean, who isn't overcharging? Who isn't making you get the app? Because I heard Coach JB talking about he was wanting to go to he was going to a Dodgers game for someone's birthday, and he saw, or this was before, and he saw that this old man, like he was saying, like in his 80s, he had the stuff, like he had the online tickets or whatever, couldn't figure out how to get it, so he couldn't get into the game because he couldn't use technology. And why aren't there options? We're throwing away so much paper, like it's insane. Don't talk to me about global warming, climate change, shut up. When they cut down trees for that, it's amazing how these guys want to continue having their job of being able to cut down trees and make lumber and paper. And so they actually cut down the trees that are going to fall and are just going to rot out. And then they help the younger generation of trees grow. Like, that's what they do. But people don't get it. People don't understand that hunting is actually a good thing. They help take out the animals with the diseases and stuff like that. They issue more tags. And the DOJ investigating the NFL, is that just they're going after the NFL because they're so huge that if they can go after them, then all the other companies are going to like, oh no. Because I was talking to someone the other day about all these Grubhub and all these actual, like, the apps on, like, for fast food restaurants, and they all say free delivery. So that means the people that are actually delivering, they're not actually getting paid and they're relying on your tips. So it still costs you money for delivery. If you are going to give them a tip, that's money out of your pocket for delivery, correct? If I'm not mistaken. That you're paying for delivery. Well, you're like, well, it's just a tip. It's still money out of your pocket because you had it delivered. Or they are paying that person and they're hiking up the prices. So someone like me, who's not a lazy piece of shit, who actually goes places and then gets ignored because they're all about people that order online and trying to get them satisfied, but me standing there, screw you. Like, that's, like, I have been waiting at Taco Bell so long, and like this is years and years ago when it first started to get popular. I'm sitting there and all these orders are coming through. All these orders. Just bag after bag going into this little slidey thing, and then people are coming and picking it up and going and delivering it. But me sitting there waiting, I am really low on their totem pole. So all these fast food restaurants, you don't think Amazon's screwing people? They are. Overcharging. I'm pretty sure Amazon Prime just had a lawsuit about not being able to unsubscribe and cancel, and I've been trying for 2 years now and been unable to. If you press cancel, pause, anything, doesn't work. It doesn't. You can press that till you're blue in the face. I have, and nothing happens. So DOJ. How much power do you really have over the NFL? Really? How much power do you really have over these companies? Because they're going to make excuses about, well, this costs this and this costs this. They're just, that's what they're going to do. Because the DOJ, Department of Justice, has to have proof. And I'm sure if they're like, well, we didn't know, they'll be like, oh, okay, just make it better. Just make it better. Because ignorance, for the longest time I've heard ignorance is no excuse, but it seems to be a very good excuse nowadays. That you just dummy up and act like you have no idea what's going on. And it's getting really, really hard to watch football, basketball, because they want you to pay all this money for an inferior product. I saw a wide receiver the other day, and it just reminded me of how the NFL's changed so much. Because I see all these receivers skinny as can be. Like, they look like they have no muscle. They look like they're mid-distance runners, because I'm going to say the track athletes look more muscular than them, like the sprinters. And then the long-distance marathon guys look skinnier. So it's like that mid-distance, 800 mile, 400 meters, somewhere in there. That's what wide receivers look like now. And you couldn't do that 20, 30 years ago. They would need shovels and buckets to get you off the field. Because you would be laid out and you wouldn't be playing. You couldn't play in high school. You couldn't play in college. It was too physical. But because they'd taken the physicality out of the game, now that 6-foot guy that's 150 pounds, he can play in the NFL. Because you're not allowed to touch him. And I'm sure the DOJ is doing this too. The government, everyone. They're telling us that things are better when they're clearly not, but yet we believe that they are. Why are we so quick to believe someone? Why not question? Question your own thoughts, your own beliefs. Question everything. It doesn't mean you have to deny everything. Just, you should have a reason to believe something. You shouldn't just believe it because some douchebag tells you you should. You're doing yourself a disservice by not thinking for yourself. Think for yourself. Even if it's wrong, it's okay. Take your lumps, learn your lesson, move on. Don't make that decision again. It's called life lessons for a reason. I see everybody following everyone else right off a cliff. And I feel like I'm powerless to stop everybody from walking off of it. And I don't know what to do. Everybody is being so self-destructive. so short-sighted, so selfish, so unkind, so hypocritical, so unaware of themselves at all, and just lying to themselves. And every time I think about it, I think about George Costanza from Seinfeld. It's not a lie if you believe it. And that kind of seems to be what the world has adopted. If I believe it, it's not a lie. And I don't care about the evidence coming in, it's still not a lie. Please think for yourself. Don't believe what I say. Question what I say too. When I say everything, I mean everything. That includes what you've been taught in Sunday school, at church. Because everybody has a different interpretation of the Bible. Everybody has a different interpretation of each individual verse. You'll even have people debating on what a word means in a verse. So think for yourself. Talk to God. Read your scripture and come up with your own interpretation. And then look to others for a different way to think about it. Because different people have different ways of thinking. So if you think one way and this other person's over here, come up with your own opinion. Okay, I got it. Then you can go to others and what they're thinking. Because if you go to others, you can say whatever you want. It impacts and influences how you think about things. It does. It's just human nature. It's in there whether you try to stop it. That's why I like to do my own opinion first and then go out. Then get other people's opinions about it and then be like, ooh, that's an interesting perspective. And that's how I felt in the video I made yesterday with Kwame Brown. He brought up some interesting facts, and that's why I was really interested and thought he was very articulate and impressive because he made me think differently in a way that I wasn't thinking. So it expanded instead of shrank my opinion. It expanded it. It helped me grow instead of, okay, I'll just think what they think. Think for yourself. Like what you want to like. Dislike what you want to dislike. Not because someone tells you that you should.